girls scholarships, and we want to do a little presentation.
Okay, if I could have your attention, please. Many of you who were with the Flame last year probably received an email from Derek announcing the first annual Southern Maine Flame Scholarship. It's been something that was near and dear to my heart for years, and we finally got Derek on board, and he was able to promote it, and we got it through the school. I mean, got it approved through the board. One thing I did want to note is this scholarship is not funded by your fees. It's funded through a certain segment of the SMDC, which requires a lot of work by you parents in order to make that a successful event. The girls that are eligible for this scholarship, it's a pretty good chance that they've gone through 6, 7, and in Alana's case, probably 8 or 9 years of work in the SMDC. So, to be eligible for this scholarship, you needed to be a high school senior, and we felt it very important to have this presentation here today happens to be your first winter workout, so all the aspiring young athletes can see what can eventually happen when you're loyal to the Flames and you're successful on and off the field. So without, I'm going to present the winners in a minute and introduce them anyways. We already know who they are, but I did want to recognize, or at least say, how the decision process was determined. The board asked 3 people, 3 former Flame members, to be on the committee to select the recipient. Those members were David Getchell, who his daughter is now playing in college, and he was a long-term coach and board member. Ed Bonenfant was the treasurer, or at least interim treasurer prior to me taking over, and at the same time the president of the organization prior to Derek taking over. So he's been through the drill. My name is Steve Martin. I was your treasurer for the last 7 or 8 years until I finally unloaded that. So my daughter aged out of the organization. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce this year's winners. We did have multiple applications, and I'll tell you, it was very difficult because every single one of them, I wish we could have written out a check to every single one of them, because they are outstanding athletes. But we ultimately elected or voted on dual winners this year, and they are obviously deserving since they're the winners, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say that the ones that did not receive the scholarship, they were outstanding. And I hope eventually we can grow the scholarship to the point where every eligible senior coming out of high school is able to get a little funds to help them. It is not easy playing a sport in college, folks. I'll tell you that, as my daughter does that right now. So, without further ado, I'd like to announce this year's winners. The first one is Alana Peoples. She went to Scarborough High School and is now at Roger Williams University. She does plan to play softball, and I will give you what her high school coach wrote as a recommendation, or a very small snippet of it. I am honored to write this letter in reference for Alana Peoples. I have coached Alana for the past 4 years and would say she was one of my favorite players that I've had the pleasure to coach for over the last 22 years. Alana is always polite, respectful, and full of positive energy. She loves to play the sport of softball and is always a great teammate. You're going to find this theme for both of these winners. Teammate. You guys hear that, ladies? Member of a team. Alana would be an excellent candidate for your scholarship, as she has demonstrated all the values that would go into such an award. So I'd like to congratulate Alana Peoples. The next recipient is Jenn Fields. Talk to by Jenn or Jennifer? Jenn, okay. Jenn hails from Wyndham, I think, right? But then she went to Macaulay, and now is at Simmons College in Boston, Massachusetts, and will continue her softball career for them this spring. I think they're both going heading for Florida in about 2 months, right? But they'll begin practicing within 2 weeks, right? So I will just give one little snippet of what her recommendation was all about. And I'd like to share a little story before I even read that. Her coach for the Southern Maine Flame was a guy named Hal Dersimer, who also had a daughter who was eligible for this scholarship. She did not apply for it because she thought it would be terribly unfair to put her father in a position of writing a recommendation for 2 other or 3 other teammates when she was a candidate. And I think that says something about the girls that play for the Flames. They're just all class. So she never even submitted an application to even be considered. I don't know whether you knew that or not, but I thought I'd share that with you. But here's what Hal wrote in part. Jenn is extremely hard worker both in the classroom and on the athletic field. And if you could see her transcript, which I have, you can see that academics is very important to her. She challenges herself by coursework she chooses and athletically works all year round on all the sports she plays. Choosing a difficult path is unusual for teenagers. It speaks volumes about her character and will to perform at the highest levels athletically and academically. Her performance also inspires others to strive for excellence through hard work and effort. That says it all. Congratulations, Jenn. And now I know all of you are all set to hit the field, so I'm not going to hold you up any longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.